welcome back. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is the 25th episode. Yay for us. We are in patch 5.4.8. I am your very grumpy warlock host, Belle. This week we are going to be talking about a few things. There wasn't a whole lot of WoW news, so we're just going to make mention of a few things because we got some really good PvP and lore segments up ahead. We're going to be talking about, obviously everybody knows the patch is hitting the 14th. We're going to talk about what that's going to bring. The BlizzCon schedule is released for those who have virtual tickets and for those who are attending. They do have some new reputations to grind out in WOD. There was great healing guides from Wowhead that were posted. Wowhead is giving away virtual tickets, and we're going to tell you guys more about that. This week we do have a special guest from the Facebook page No Sympathy for Stupidity. He's the man zombie, the only Forsaken with the light. Hi, thank you.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. And as always, I did bring all of the Riders of Rohan with me. I do have the mage who arenas with no pants, Frieza.
It is true. It is very true. It does happen.
I know.
How you doing, everybody?
We're great.
Good. How you doing?
Good. It's good to be here. Awesome. I always look forward to the weekend. This is a very great day for me.
We're nerds, so we don't have much of a life. Saturday's the important day of the week for all of us.
I worked so hard this week. All I really care about is hanging out with you guys. The rest of my friends at work.
That's why he's my bestie, guys.
We were on real late last. We were on till like 6 in the morning.
We were bonding
last night. It was today.
I also, now that he has spoken, I also did bring the man with alt personality disorder, and I say man because every week he plays a different alt. So I did bring.
She's calling me out, and it's so true. I play a shaman. I play a shaman that's not in the same guild with Belle. So I was on my shaman and I was whispering to her. She wasn't talking back because apparently she did like a 30 wipe raid last night. We won't go there yet. And I was whispering, she wasn't answering me, so I hopped on to my mage who is in the guild, and I was like, "What's up? You guys don't like me?" And they were like, "No, where you been?" And I was just like, "Well, I guess I haven't been giving love to my mage." So now last night, like I said, I was on my mage till 6 in the morning. I got alternate issues, man. I got bad issues.
We're glad you're here. I also did bring the Death Knight that rages on healers in Vent, Lakin. What's up, Lakin?
Now, I really need to start taking some Valium before I start raiding again. I just I don't like being called
We're gonna tell you guys more about that for our weeks in WoW, but we had a pretty epic couple of days, Lycan and I did. So
yeah,
he does. He's a little crazy.
Yeah.
So let's get right into our week in WoW. Frieza, I know you didn't do much this whole week because you're working, and apparently paying for WoW is more important than playing WoW. So, how was your week in WoW?
It's been okay. I log in every day. We were going to have a talk, me and you, because I remember I talked about you saying I log in at 1 sometimes, and you're like, I'm online. I've logged in at 1 every day this week, and you have never been online except for yesterday.
You know why? Because I log out when nobody's on that I play with on the norm, and I just get bored and log out, really.
So I should probably message you when I get home in case you okay.
Right.
I was worried about that. Well, because I get home really late, as a lot of the podcasts know, the viewers, I get home around 4 in the morning sometimes, and it's just me. So I get on, I do a few things here and there. Sometimes I'll run with a few guildies to go do a few things, but this whole week it has been a riot at work. I just been living there. I should have got a sleeping bag and just slept there. That is how crazy it was. But it's good to be back. It's definitely, I look forward to the weekend all week just so I can play WoW and hang out with friends. So
we're so happy.
But really nothing much. I watch a lot of YouTube when I'm at work. When I don't play WoW, I watch WoW. So I watch a lot of replays, a lot of highlights, a lot of cool videos about World of Warcraft. So I do got to post some in our Facebook page that we're going to talk about later on in the podcast.
Awesome. Spam, what'd you do this week? I know you're like me, we're dealing with college and all that goes along with being continuing college students after you're already old, because I'm still taking some college classes. So
should I talk about college or should I talk about WoW?
Whatever you were able to
talk about WoW during college.
WoW during college.
I will give props to myself, even though I have alcoholic syndrome, as we've called it on the show before. The reason that my shaman is not in the same guild with these guys is because I have a functioning active guild, and they've been. I'm like the number 2 healer in the guild, and they've been missing. I've been missing in action. My shaman's been missing in action for a good 2 years now, so they're really happy to have me back because I stepped right back in and plugged right back into my number 2 spot where I used to be, and they're just like, "Wow, you haven't skipped a beat." I was just like, "Nah, I'm cool like that," you know. So I've been running Siege of Orgrimmar. We've been doing Flex Siege of Orgrimmar. We made it up to, let's see, we finished Nazgrim. We made it up to Thok. So
Nice.
we're getting progressive.
Nice.
But the fights are getting harder. You know, we have to explain them a couple times sometimes.
Dirt moments.
Malkarok took us like, I don't know, I want to say like 15 or 16 attempts to finally get him down. So
Yikes.
Ow, yeah. I mean, he's making faces at me.
But you're
Same-
giving it the
same
good old
times.
attempt, which is great, though.
Wait,
Well,
this is heroic?
No, unfortunately. But I think these are a lot of alts. And I think these are a lot of
Okay.
like this is like the B team. This is like the second string for my.
So many
for my
people have
first
already
guild.
progressed, so it's possibly just
I'm
new
not
players
sure.
and
But I had suggested that time is running short. Perhaps we should be getting in our Garrick-Hill. And the raid leader suggested that, well, if we aren't able to get down Malkarok, we ain't gonna get down Siegecrafter either. So learning this progressive fight is a stepping stone for learning the next progressive fight. And I've been taking this woman's advice for a long time, so I just kind of like. I just kind of did my shut my hole and know my role. That's what I learned in World of Warcraft this week.
nice. Lycan, what did you do this week?
Like I said, I started playing that hunter, got him up to around, I believe, 67 this week.
Nice.
What's cool, though, is I walked into the Dark Moon Fair, and for 2 years I've been going after that stupid pet, that Dark Moon Eye. So I go in, take my hunter, and I say, I'll just go ahead and get it. And once you know, it dropped for me finally today. So I got my Dark Moon Eye that I've been trying for two years. Finished up a couple more achievements I needed to get before patch 6.0 drops. Super excited about that dropping on Tuesday. And then, we did some Gary attempts over the weekend.
I know I'm going to talk about that here in 2 seconds.
It was okay. Like I said, I've been doing Gary for quite some time. I already have my achievement, and we had a wonderful healer that made a comment, and I kind of snapped her head off. But, like I said, if I start taking some value before the
But
raids, I
he's
think it'll
very
be a lot
sorry
better.
if you're watching this
I am.
to the
I
shaman
am.
healer. He's very sorry. And with that, let me jump in with my week real quick because it's going to be epic. So for those of you who know, there has been a standing all around the WoW world to help get Bell to the Gary. I did not bother with my Garrosh kill before. Everybody kept telling me you need to quit messing around and just get it. A good friend of mine, Aja, she used to be admin for Girls Who Play WoW. She is a solid individual, and she got a lockout for me specifically for the purposes of getting Belle her Gary kill. So over the last week, we have spent my wipe count for 10 man is 57, and my wipe count for 25 man is only 7. Dude.
Wow.
What the fuck is all I have to say. So it's been one of the most, it's worse than my green fire at this point, because sadly what you're doing is you're relying on other people. And because me and Aja are so nice, we want to help carry people, but at the end of the day, we're not going to be able to do the carries. It's going to have to be people that can pull their weight so we can pull it off.
Someone posted today, I don't remember who posted it, but someone was like, doing Garrosh tonight, don't show up if you ain't got a 570 item.
Yeah,
I was just like, all right, I guess I'm not coming.
If for those of you who are listening and watching, I'll make sure that this podcast gets posted first thing in the morning. If you go to the Girls Who Play WoW page, which if you love me, you already like the page, there is an open raid invite for those that are at least 560. I know a lot of you are going to be upset because you're getting pissed off that you're not getting an invite for being under 560, but that's just the way that it is. You should be 560 by now. It's not my fault that you're not, and it's not me trying to be mean. It just is what it is. It is what it is. At this point, we can't carry anybody because we've tried carrying people and it's been a fail every time. So make sure you go sign up for it. The event's going to happen tomorrow evening, but we did have quite a few frustrating moments. We did have my
like
pocket
57
tank.
of them?
There was a lot of, and somebody was very rude. I'm going to call this person out. I don't know who you are. I did write your name down, actually. Hang on.
What was his name? Spam Burger?
You are on Caltharaz. If you're watching and or listening this podcast, you are the guy that whispered my husband and called my husband a dumb fuck. Let me explain something to you. You come into a group that was created for the sole purpose of getting Bel her Garrosh kill, and you think you're going to whisper my husband and call him a dumb fuck? Boy, do you have something else coming. So to you, I just want to make sure that you were called out because it was completely unnecessary. It's rude, and it's elitist assholes like you that make me hate the game. With that said,
let me expand on it. She did warn him. She warned him, though, I am going to put you on a podcast, and I am going to call you out on this, too.
I did tell everybody that ran with us this week that it's possible that they are going to be noted on the podcast for either good work or bad work just because I not use its powers. But I did have a lot of great people. Big Barnes, thank you. You rode the good fight with us. Aja's healers. There was a lot of you guys that have really stayed through wipe after wipe after wipe and didn't get frustrated. Even from my own guild, Aculara, my husband, Lycan. So
I gotta throw out that Dark Warlock also, Dark something. He was really helpful last night as well.
Oh yes. His name is Dark. You did help us too. Literally, so many of you have come together for the sole purpose of helping other people get this achievement, and I think that's really, Aja didn't have to, but she got me a lockout. She messaged me and said, "This is your lockout. This is for you. I did this for you." And to me, that's very humbling that somebody loves me enough to help me get this kill. So make sure you go to girlswhoplaywwow.com or on Facebook and sign up for the open raid event that's for tomorrow. We're going to try to get as many people this achievement as possible.
Tomorrow,
that's what
Sunday?
I did for my week. Yeah, tomorrow night. That's what I did all week. I did Gary kill, which I didn't kill him. I just wiped.
Several times.
Zombie,
why
is
you
get a
Siege
chance
of Agramar like Taco Night?
Because
it's hours of anticipation. No, it's hours of anticipation followed by days and days of wiping.
And chafing.
What did you do this weekend, WoW Zombie?
I'm working on my legendary cloak. I main a Giant Eye Protection Paladin, and I'm only level 526 at the moment. Really, I quested to 90 with this character when I first started WoW. I didn't really play with anybody. My wife said that she'd want to play, so we played a little bit, but I got way more into it than she did. And so yeah, I have 3 secrets now.
That's a whole lot of
what?
secrets.
3 secrets in 2 LFR runs.
That's a lot of secrets.
In 2 LFR runs. So, the first LFR run I did drop 2 secrets.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good tidings.
Not bad. You're behind.
Oh my God! If you want suggestions or sympathy at this point because you got a week to go.
I'll take either, I guess.
Either.
He doesn't have a week. He has a month, and I'm going to tell you why. And we could actually.
I already passed my Valor, so we're good.
We can transition into the first item, which is the patch. The arrival of the patch 6.0, which happens on Tuesday. You're not going to be without your cloak.
It's not the end of the world.
If you've picked up your quest and you've progressed through your quest line, you're going to be able to do it until the release of WOD.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's minus the Valor once Tuesday hits. So for those of you that just want to
he's got more time than I thought.
Yes.
Yeah, no. If I didn't get that Valor, that would have been a problem.
Advice, not sympathy.
The problem is we're losing the buff on Tuesday, so it's going to be back to the good old.
It's tough. It's a tough
run 8 raids, 8 bosses to get nothing. Also,
well, that's some bullshit.
It is.
God damn it! They said it was going to be. Didn't they say that it was going to be on until WOD dropped?
No, they said
it was until the patch,
but not the buff. The buff goes away on Tuesday.
And those who are already on the quest and did not done the Valor part, they are taking the Valor requirement out.
Yep, don't worry about it.
Since we're losing Valor points, don't worry about it. You'll still be able to complete the quest.
And let's make mention of a few things. A lot of people have been asking what they're going to do with the Justice and Valor points. They are going to be converted to gold if you haven't used them by Tuesday. It's not a lot of gold. We talked about it last week. So
come on, Blizz. Give us a fucking break.
So
spend your valor.
Tuesday also
spend your valor.
with the pre-patch. The
And
Blasted
Justice.
Lands, with the pre-patch, the Blasted Lands quest for you to begin the beginnings of the Dark Portal for the battle with the Iron Horde. You're going to be able to pick that up on Tuesday. Also, the new raid system is going to be implemented, which takes out Flex, is replaced by Normal. So we go Normal, Heroic, and then Mythic, correct? Do I have that in the right order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't. Nothing's going to change. They're just going to change the name.
They're just changing
when-
the
What the fuck
system.
is
So
the point then?
when
Don't
when you
change
push
anything.
when you push O and you click that little other raids thing and you get Flex Raid, next week it's going to be called Normal.
Normal. It's going to be
Right.
normal.
But
Yep.
and the reason they're doing that too, and it's actually going to work out better
Because
because
Flex
those
is a
who
stupid name.
that too. But and this is great because I know for my guild, for example, I run with Hoss on Drainer. Sometimes we do have that problem of hitting that 25-man mark. So if we come in and we only have 18 on, but we have a viable raid, we're able to still go into that raid and complete it. It's not like we have to sit back and say, well, that's another week wasted because we can't do the 25-man. Or, you know what, those 8 people that are on here, sorry, you guys are shit out of luck. We're going to leave without you.
Correct.
Wait, so
No,
I'm
but
sorry.
you're missing the point when I said nothing's going to change. It's not going to be like you're queuing for normal. They're
Right.
going to start calling Flex normal and
Right.
start calling normal heroic and start calling heroic mythic.
Right.
That's the only thing that's changing.
Right, and
Yeah.
nothing, no mechanics, no play, no queuing,
So
nothing.
right. So
else
if
is
you're
different.
in normal and you get the 15th guy in the group, yes, it's going to get harder. It's going to have a different mechanic like Flex did because normal is Flex. They just
The great
got
thing
the-
really
So
is it's easy for people to put together a group for Flex.
It's
That's
easy to put
that's
together
why it's going to be good. So now you can put together your group for normals, which is going to
Hopefully.
scale your item level and scale the amount of players that you have and make the fights appropriate for that scaling.
I know that I'm the ultimate optimist when it comes to these things, but I come from the day when we used to have to like find groups and be like, hey, would you like to join my group? I'm hoping that as of Tuesday, I'll be able to be getting normal, or I guess normal is now heroic, and I'll be able to get heroic and I'll be able to get mythic groups just as easy as I can get flex groups. And hopefully, as of Tuesday, we won't have people in the flexible queue for other raids who when you invite them, they're like, no, I'm only looking for heroic.
Well,
I have
and
a
it-
575 item level. Don't ask
and
me
ex-
to join flex.
And expanding on that too, we're going to get the new button on the bottom going to be the pre-made groups.
Correct.
I don't know if you guys have been checking
Yeah.
this out.
That was
This
something I
is
was just, you
awesome.
took the words right out of my mouth.
Okay.
I was just about to say, for those of you that use OQ, you might as well uninstall it as of Monday because it's going to be garbage. They are not going to, they're blocking OQ from being able to be used as an add-on, which we won't need it. We're going to have the new beautiful,
Remake.
excuse me,
That
we're going
should
to have
last
the
all of a day.
beautiful pre-made. In addition to all of that stuff, we have the BlizzCon schedule was released. For those of you that are doing the virtual ticket and you might not necessarily want to watch everything that's happening, go to the BlizzCon. The actual website is it's yourbattle.net/BlizzCon. They do have the schedule that's up. The World of Warcraft movie presentation. There's the Heroes of the Storm overview, Hearthstone Fireside Chat, Diablo 3. They do have a good portion of it. There's nothing there, and I know it's not just going to be blank. So that Elvine from he's the Mage Goldmaker. I'm sure you all know who Elvine is. He posted a really good question. What is it that they're going to be announcing
Right.
and or talking about with such a large block of time
Almost 3 hours.
blocked out? There's 3 hours of just
Yeah.
Holy
Boy.
shit.
New
So-
playable character classes.
New playable
Well-
characters. That's
Oh
what
my
I'm
god.
thinking.
No, that will not
The
help my
Alakai,
name.
whatever they are. The
That will
bird.
not help my
So if you
name.
have not bought your BlizzCon ticket,
That
do
would be
it.
the best news ever.
You get the Gromlock pet for buying your BlizzCon ticket. You get some other game swag like Diablo, Heroes of the Storm, and Hearthstone swag. You get this cool shit. Buy it. Quit being cheap. It's attached to your battle.net. Do it. If
Hey.
you don't want to buy it, Wowhead is offering you the opportunity to win a virtual ticket. Go to wowhead.com. You'll see it on the very first page. They're giving away a virtual ticket if you're going to BlizzCon. If there's anybody that's going to BlizzCon, can I please be in your suitcase? Other than that,
Took the words out of my mouth.
we are going to try to get all of us at BlizzCon. Belle does have a plan next year to get the whole set of cast members to go
I'm
to
in.
BlizzCon. So
Oh, yeah.
hopefully
sold.
that'll be something that's a possibility. It's going to take a little bit of work on our part, but
I don't care
Would
if we
be
have to
too-
camp out. We'll camp out in the middle of the street if we got to.
I mean,
I got a big tent.
if I got to show some leg, I'm not
Just
beyond that.
talk, zombie. You have to talk.
Okay. Would it be too conspicuous if I asked you to just take me in a garbage bag?
I don't think you're gonna make it in
That's
the front.
not uncommon for what Belle totes around.
I
in the
will
real world,
I
so.
will melt. I will cut open a little portion and I will melt a little screen on there for oxygen, and I will bring snacks. It'll be great.
See, some of us are on a budget, and I think the way to combat that being on a budget is
Use
because
garbage bags.
well, because we're all friends, we can all just get a hotel room. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'll sleep up.
Oh, but it has to. But there can only be one bed in that room.
That's why I'll.
Everybody has to share
And
one
the
bed.
princess is gonna get it.
We don't even need blankets. We just use each other's body heat.
I wasn't talking about you, Belle. I was talking about Friza.
Oh.
Yay! Okay. Also,
No one wants to spoon with me? I'll spoon
new
with Phil.
reputations. Moving on, new reputations in WOD. It happens every expansion. It's nothing new. The reputations, I'm just going to call out a few of them. This is just more crap for us to grind out in WOD. They have the Council of Exarchs. It's going to be an alliance faction. It is under the leadership of the 5 powerful Exarchs and the Draenei of Draenor, and all that good stuff. You'll be able to grind out that. We have the Frostwolf Orcs for Horde side. You're going to be able to grind out that faction reputation. The Arkoa Outcast, which is going to be neutral faction reputation. We have Steam Weedle Preservation Society. This makes me laugh because of the picture that they have. It's also going to be a neutral faction.
Forget about it.
Vol'jin Spear, which is the Horde PvP faction reputation, which I do not like Horde, but I love Vol'jin. I've always loved Vol'jin. He's my favorite. Horde side, that is. I really do. He's one of my favorites. So you'll be able to get reputation there. King Rin's Vanguard is going to be Alliance PvP faction. The Shatari Defense, which is for the Alliance faction, which is the Defenders of Shatrath. Laughing Skull Orcs, which is a Horde faction, which is, it's Horde side faction, and you'll be able to get some pretty cool swanky swag for being exalted with those guys. So for those of you who love farming and who love getting their factions exalted, my husband's one of them, and I don't have time for that, so it doesn't happen. But get excited because there's great stuff as far as the factions are concerned.
Is it tabards? Is that how it works?
Yep.
You go up to a vendor and get a tabard, same as always?
And Wowhead has a great guide to these factions and where you'll pick those up. So go to wowhead.com. It should be in one of the highlighted marks. It'll tell you exactly when WD hits where you need to go to get the faction daily started for that. Also, I know everybody's panicking about healing in WOD.
Not me, because I tank.
So
you should be panicking more than anyone then.
yes.
for those of you that are
You're the one
panicking,
that's gonna die.
for those of you that are panicking, Wowhead has created a very sweet set of guides for every healing class.
Mhm.
I'm not even going to break apart all these because there's so much information that it would be ridiculous for us to go into it. Go to wowhead.com, look up healing in WOD. They break down each class, what the changes are, how this affects your rotation, how this affects you as a healer. Read it, become one with it, get comfortable with change because it's happening with or without you. You can either get on board the change train or you can sit on the Facebook groups like I see every day and you can bitch and complain about it. But at the end of the day, it's not changing. So
Right.
roll with it. Wowhead's trying to make it as easy as possible. Perculia and Olivia DeGrace have made it their life's mission to make sure that they are giving you guys what you need for beta. They play beta every day so that going into it, they've already got leveling guides. They have pet leveling guides. They have everything WOD ready guide-wise. So make sure that you go to wowhead.com and you check that out.
I know. I
Don't go and give the Toys R Us guys $29.95 of your hard-earned money for a strategy guide when you can get a way more in-depth one for free online, guys.
And I've spoken to healers that have played beta. It is definitely different. It's going to be confusing at first, but they say it's a lot easier and it makes more sense with the ability trimming that they added into it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier.
It's going to be okay. Like everything else in life, everything's going to be fine.
What's up, Zombie?
I may have forgotten.
Oh,
He told you just spit it out, man.
I told you, man.
It
You're gonna have to. You got to talk. You have to go because these guys will talk over you.
Oh,
Can I say this? Can I say this? You said it wouldn't change. In 6 months, they're going to give the Druids back instant casts again. I already know.
Okay.
it.
That can happen.
I remember.
There's so many people that back it on the
Go ahead.
forums for
Go
basic.
ahead. Do it now that you remember.
Okay, sorry. I remember. I only have a couple of these because I don't have too many recorded right now, but I call them brainy bits. And it's me, and it's just kind of me ranting about shit for 2 to 5 minutes. And I ranted about MMOs, and if you don't like change, don't fucking play an MMO.
Right.
Because it changes every 3 months.
It's supposed to.
And if you
That's how
can't
it's
deal with
supposed to.
that, like, if you can't deal with that, then you probably stick to like Mario because that shit doesn't change.
Unsub.
Can I say
Go
this?
away. Bye.
Can I add on to that? So I was watching
Yes.
Zark's Twitch over the week, over this last week, and his listeners were talking about how mages are going to suck in WoD. And he didn't deny it. He just said, you know what? He goes, they probably are. He goes, mages are probably going to suck. He goes, but I'm a mage. He goes, and I'm still going to be ranked.
Exactly.
It doesn't make a
Thank you,
difference.
and that's the thing. Oh, go ahead, like
no, I was
No,
just
that's-
saying,
that's
and
it.
remember,
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing the QQing about them pandering to the newbies and to the casuals. Guess what, guys? With the subscriber base falling, they're going to. And don't QQ about it. Just roll with it. Learn how to play your tune again. If you don't like the way that one's, there's an alt. If you want to insta boost it, you can. If you want to grind it out, you can. But please, just learn your tune and play it. It's that simple.
What's funny to me is the amount of people in these Facebook groups I'm in that bitch about the nerfs happening and how World of Warcraft sucks, yet they're on every day.
Yep.
They're in game every day.
I'm sorry.
They're elitist and they call people filthy casuals. I've been called a filthy casual 7 times this week. Can I tell you that I have 3 guilds? I have 3 guilds across the Azeroth servers. I can guarantee you I'm not a filthy casual.
I'm kind of a filthy casual. I'm a filthy halfway hardcore. I mean, like
she plays
I like
hardcore
that.
casual.
hardcore casual. That's me. There we go.
That's what he said. Yeah,
Hardcore
that's pretty
casual.
accurate. That's pretty accurate. Okay, we do need to move on.
Okay.
We do have.
You wasn't done.
No. It's good. Go on.
No,
It's your
you
podcast.
say what
Go
you're
on.
going to say.
Let him talk.
I heard
He's our
nothing,
special
so I
guest.
did the transition. I apologize.
No. Go for it. Go for it.
No, you say it.
It's okay. I'm done with everything.
Okay, fine. Well, people say, I'm sorry, and I know stats get tweaked and everything, but when you say that shit's nerfed and then you blame you not doing as well as you did on your character being nerfed, that means you don't know your class anymore.
Agreed.
I'm sorry. When you get nerfed, like I've seen things go away. Now, yes, I was a filthy casual. I quested. I tried to dungeon sometimes, but then I was running with with hunters who would just pet taunt and just fucking face pull, or anybody would just fucking face pull and not wait for me. And like, you know what? Fuck you, fine. And so I stopped dungeoning for a little while, and then I just continued to quest. And you know, my gear sucks because fucking quest gear. But you know what? I dealt with every change that happened to my class.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can still hold aggro like a motherfucker with whatever gear level I have, with whatever changes happened. I'm sorry. You just fucking roll with the punches. I
Right.
used F too many times. It was like 2 minutes. I'm sorry, but
I
you know
just
what?
want to
Yes.
say I never thought I would meet anybody that said it more than me, and I'm very happy that I've been outdone here because I was feeling pretty low about myself with my use of the F word.
You
I
guys
feel
have
great
not
now.
watched my streams. No. All I do is drop F-bombs. Just
What
wait.
is your-
Now,
that's his first official podcast, World of Warcraft rant, and it was amazing. That was amazing. That was like a 3-layer cake of rant.
That was a good rant.
oh my god.
Now we can transition.
Okay, now we do need to
fine.
transition so we don't go over time. So,
I can't believe you almost like went past that.
I'm sorry.
That was awesome.
I didn't hear the audio cue that told me he wasn't done because there was no one talking and I just jumped in. But we're all
I'm sorry.
You're
Go
fine.
ahead.
No, that was the best rant I've ever heard in my life. Friza, tell me what you got PvP side. I know we got a PvP spotlight you wanted to talk about.
Okay, well, I think most of us all did watch the championship, at least for the most part, and then the breaks were just insane.
Unbelievable.
That was
ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. The breaks were what, an hour? Some of them were an hour long.
Hours. Hours long.
So
and let me say real quick, I love the disconnects too when
Oh.
whenever they were playing. That was great.
That was great. Couldn't get enough of that.
Well, that just shows you how many people were all logging into the server to watch at the same time.
That's true.
I'm guessing this was not a World of Warcraft Blizzard server that they were doing it on, that's why it was getgetting destroyed.
The disconnects were actually the players sitting in the conference room in the stadium, disconnecting from the WoW server.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, and that happened last year.
My husband watched it and was very much not talking to me that whole time he was watching it, and I was like, "Cool, I'm just gonna go do stuff without you then because I'm
sometimes
here."
a good thing, though, Bill?
What?
Huh?
Isn't that sometimes a good thing, though?
Well, then he's like, "Well, you have a podcast and you're not even watching it because that's not my deal. That's Friza's. He can watch it and do the thing. I have my own deal. It's
It'll
not
be
that."
on YouTube after the podcast.
I did.
Well,
A couple hours behind.
you gotta. We got to watch the Three Amigos, the Death Innovators, and the Penny for Your Thought. Those three teams did go on to the next round. This was the North America World Championship, so they are going to face the rest of the champions. I don't know when is that. That's at BlizzCon.
It is.
When they will be doing that. Yeah. So we got to watch all these teams win. It was absolutely insane watching these guys play. The quickness of how. Man, they were fast. You couldn't put a curse on anybody. That was like impossible.
No.
They would just no. It was cleared. It was cleared. It was gone. You were silenced. It was man. That would be hard not to just punch your screen just to be CC'd. And so perfectly CC'd perfectly. But
Grab the screen. I've done that before.
These guys have patience of a saint because they're just like feared. I'd be like,
You're screaming for me to move, and I'm screaming, "Where the fuck is my heels?"
Where's my
Yeah.
heels? Where's my heels?
fuck are my heels?
I sat here with my 10-year-old daughter watching this whole thing, and both of us are sitting here holding our breath going, oh, geez.
Gosh, that could have been a look and sound for poop face or sex face.
I would say in watching all those videos with these guys, the Shadow Priest, if you had a Shadow Priest on your team, that was your wink link. Obviously, everybody who had a Shadow Priest on their team lost, and they lost because of the Shadow Priest. So I think that was a horrible decision on people who picked skill capped had a Shadow Priest and they lost.
I don't hear anything about Shadow Priests. Are they like anything right now, or
they're just good CCers. They have somewhat of a damage, but they're good for CCs. But in this tournament we just watched, if you had a Shadow
not good
Priest,
enough. Yeah.
apparently not because they just got bursted on. They got everybody targeted the Shadow Priest, and eventually they got him down.
that means they're good.
Huh?
That means they're good.
No,
like,
that
fuck
means
that guy. We're getting
they
him
were
out
the
of here.
easiest to take out because they target the easiest to take out
they're
first.
Squishy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, they
That's why
take
I
him
can't
out.
play anything but a tank. I just can't handle being squishy. I don't care
If
about
I step into an arena as a warlock, I'm automatically targeted, even before the healer, because they know, one, I'm going to fear the shit out of you until you facepalm into your keyboard, or two, I'm very squishy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it was crazy watching Penny for Your Thought. When you saw Penny for Your Thought go against Skill Capped, from the beginning there really wasn't a chance for Skill Capped to ever win, and they didn't. Because the teams that they had, the 3v3, one person would take out the other one person would take out the other one person would take out the other one. The team was never a chance. They never stood a chance from the beginning, and that's Skill Capped. They have their own website about how to be the best. They are not in the tournament.
They have a website where they charge people money. I don't think you're the best if you have to charge people money.
No, they've been the best. You can't take anything away from those guys. You can't take anything away from those guys. Those guys, they have a lot of championships under.
So is all the other Swifties and Hotteds and
those guys don't have
championships.
I don't think they have like one or two. Those guys are YouTubers. Skill Capped is actually tournament based people. They win world championships. So
that's
what it means. That's what it means to go into a tournament. This is a playoff style kind of tournament. So
I have a question. Do they drink Gatorade for these events?
Yeah, they do.
No, they drink Mountain Dew. What kind of question was that?
Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3.
What happens if they get dehydrated? Is there somebody sitting by them with a sweat catcher?
They have.
Oh my God! No, They have headbands. They have sweatbands.
Awesome.
They have the World's Warcraft W emblem on them.
That's legit.
Skill Skill Cap was last year's winner too, weren't they?
What the hell is
They were.
Yeah.
I remember they did win last year. I'm talking shit just because I can. I have a lot of respect for Scale Cap. I just don't want to give you $5. But I mean, other than that, I think you guys are great.
I think it's not that much to pay. I think if they're going to give you some good advice, pay for it.
I think a $5 bill buys me 2 rock stars, and I'm happy about that. So.
But
paying way too much for energy drinks. $1, baby, way better tasting.
You pay for how good it is, though, and I can tell you
This
that
is
I would.
amazing. Are you kidding me?
I would
Look,
fall
it's
asleep.
empty. Why do you think I'm all fucking hopped up?
Well,
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I have naturally this much energy.
this
Trust me,
podcast
naturally.
has gotten real really quickly. This has been the realest.
Sorry, guys.
Let me
I
throw
bring
this out there.
awkward.
No, it was not.
Kickstarter is not a sponsor, but definitely, if you guys are interested, we'll definitely take your money.
Yeah, right. Yes, please. Mountain Dew,
Did you have
Coke.
anything else regarding the PvP?
Census and Evelyn went at it over the weekend. That is one of the best rogues in the world, and Evelyn is one of the best warriors in the world. And they went at it 1v1, best out of 5, and it was 2-2. The warrior won 2, the rogue won 2, and the rogue ended up winning in
Nice.
the end.
Congratulations.
And it was very hard to watch.
Sap,
And a lot of bad-
right?
Yeah, a lot of bad comments were made after that duel because they're calling the rogue, all kinds of names, saying, because he was running around a lot and he was CCing, he would literally come in, burst, and then leave for like a minute and then come back and do it. So Evelyn would have to like run around. Well, okay, so there we're going. So then I'm reading the comments, and people are calling this census guy a idiot, and all this stuff for doing that, and a wuss. He is playing his class.
You're supposed to
That's what a
You're
rogue
supposed
does.
to run around. You're
That's
supposed
They
to.
hit you. If they don't kill you, they run and come back. That's what
Right.
a rogue does. But Evelyn made the mistake by letting him get away. That was the biggest mistake because I saw Census lose to Bajora. Bajora?
yeah.
What's his name? Bajora?
Bajora.
He killed Census in a 1v1 combat.
But
So
you're
it's
a
obvious-
badass. I mean,
Warriors kill. Well, so is Evelyn.
I've never seen
So-
Evelyn, but I've seen Bajir, and I know he's nothing to be fucking around with. I wouldn't take the guy on for sure.
So
Not even as a
it went
tank?
back and forth. Huh?
I said you wouldn't take him on even as a tank?
No.
I'm sorry.
Negative.
It's
No,
hilarious.
No, not.
I just have to say, in relation to PvP, being a tank is the funniest fucking thing ever. Stun, silence, you don't die. It
We
takes
don't
like
agree
5
with tanks in a PvP setting whatsoever.
Dude, all I have is PvE gear. Nobody can kill. It takes 5 or 6 people to kill me. I just stun
Right.
and I silence them, and they're just sitting there getting pissed.
We would never
It's
take-
amazing.
One spam
We would
can
never
kill
take
you.
a tank
Please,
into threes.
one
We don't
spam.
agree with tanks in an arena setting at all.
No, we don't
Oh
do tanks
my
in-
god! Oh no, I'm sorry. I play BGs. Like I was doing like the mine one and for the
Telling you,
legendary.
Price is always going to try to change you.
Oh yeah. Well, in the BG, that's okay as long as he's in the BG and arena. I mean,
Okay.
there are some teams out there that have
way
fuzzy
over in
games.
time, and we still have 2 huge segments to get to because we have to have a guest segment. So I'm gonna have to mediate and cut this down. Let's go ahead and jump right into Lycan's. Lycan has some more lore for us this week,
Yes.
so go ahead.
I'm excited, too.
Yes, I love lore.
Moving into Warlords, we are going to go over Velen tonight. And the Draenei. And I don't know if
Did you say
anybody knows. Velen. And there will be spoilers, and I'll let you know here in a minute that there will be spoiler alerts. But
My head should die.
little background on that's all right. A little background on the Draenei. They actually come from a different planet called Argus. They were, offered by Sargeras to get all this beautiful power, and all they had to do was, accept them and just, go up to him and say, "Look, we will do whatever you want." And they were supposed to get this untold. Well, there's 3 main leaders of the Eridar, which was the original name for it. You had Kil'jaeden, you had Arjumon, and you had Velen. Well, Arjumon and Kil'jaeden took it off and says, "Yes, absolutely, we'll bow to you." And it was Velen, as that prophet, he was able to see that future and says, no, there's something not right here. And I did a really wonderful write-up. I think it's wonderful, but it's a big write-up on the podcast website. Go ahead and go take a look at it. It gives a really far into the Draenei, how they got to Draenor, how they got to Azeroth, and it's a pretty awesome background on a class that nobody ever actually looked into. But
Race?
as with Velen,
Race or class?
race. Sorry,
Okay.
big race. That coming in through Burning Crusade, it was actually a great addition, and they have a wonderful history. And it's said, check the write up on podcast.net. But let's get to Velen. We have Velen here, 25,000 years old. And here comes spoiler alert. So if you're not ready for the spoiler and you don't want to know what happens, right now is when you want to go ahead and stop, and we'll put the time on when to come back. But there is a wonderful storyline when you go through Shadow Moon Valley, because we meet a new leader of the Draenei that's coming up. Her name is Yril. And Yril is, just this unknown character throughout the Draenei race. And she goes through, and you follow her through. She's actually held captive. She's one of the first ones you meet there, being held captive by the orcs in Tanan Village, or Tanan Jungle. And what you're going to do is you're going to follow her through there, and the whole quest line is basically following her. Now, when you get to the end of the quest in Shadow Moon Valley, and you're at the very last one, I believe it is Ner'zhul that is trying to bring down something called the Dark Star. And the cutscene for this was phenomenal, but we actually get to see why she becomes the new Exarch. Yril actually becomes the new Exarch by Velen. And Velen looks at Yril and says, doesn't even say anything, puts her hand up over her head. Boom. She gets the symbol on her forehead with the arcane power saying that she's the new Exarch. And Velen sacrifices himself inside this big pillar of arcane tornado. It was awesome. Now, I'm not sure it's an L shape, but, she
No L shape for Velen, damn you!
No. He walks in, next thing you know, he sacrificed himself, and it was a Naru that they were corrupting to bring into the, to try to bring down and kill most of the Draenei, if not all of them, in Shadow Moon Valley. But yeah, Velen, unbelievable. We really don't get to see a lot of them, because most of the quest lines are away from the Azure Isles. We don't really get to see a lot of them, through the last couple of expansions. Even with this, I believe it was Mardon that did all the lore, the Warlords videos, whatever his name is. But he, we don't get to see what Velen did. We don't get to see his past. So this was pretty neat to come into it. But definitely check out that write-up I have on there. I may go into a little bit more of Velen here later, just because he's going to be playing such an ultimate role. And I do want to try to get some more background on Yril. But, it's great. So you can...
Velen's looking great. I mean, he got like a full body overhaul for the new expansion. He used to have that big Draenei male puffed out chest, and he's 25,000 years old, and he's slimming down. Slimming down. Velen is looking good. Looking sharp for 25,000.
25,000 years
That
old.
was a great segment. And you did.
It was.
That was good, Lycan.
Good.
I'm sorry. This is the expansion of my people. I fucking love it. I love the Draenei. I love everything about the Draenei. I've read all 3 War of the Ancients.
Because most men like Draenei. I mean, really, that's
because they're badass.
Because they have squids on their faces.
Dryladin has squid on his face. I actually got a haircut and got the achievement for the first time. Well, yeah.
I got a question for Lycan here.
Yeah.
So I thought about this over the weekend. I'm not going to tell you the full story. Anyways, the question is, could they start, if you are an orc and you make a character, could you choose which tribe you come from, your ancestors, like maybe get a tattoo or a flag? Could they do that? Or are all the green orcs that are being created right now, are they of what?
I'm not a green orc. I'm a brown orc.
Okay, so
assuming they grew up as a little kid, what tribe? Okay. Who's their ancestors?
It doesn't matter, because all the green orcs, basically from the time we've moved forward from the Dark Portal on, any character that you're going to create right now is definitely going to be a green orc, because all of the ancestors, according to our timeline, have drank in the blood of Manaroth. That's where you get the separation between Thrall and Gary. Thrall, definitely has the green blood. But you imagine, it was Grom Hellscream was the first one to drink the blood, as we saw in the video where he pours it out this time. That is why Garrosh is not green. He's still brown. And the Magthora, he was the one in Hellfire Peninsula that we had to go find. We find that lost tribe up there of the brown orcs. So moving from this point forward, if you were to create a character, no, they could not tell you, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and create you a brown orc. Just cannot be happening. Because in our timeline, they've already drank the blood. As we're looking here, we are splitting off into a new timeline. So everything that we go from here is basically going off this way, and it's going to follow parallel where we're at. When they try to bring the... Now, we'll see in 6.0, as the launch happens, we're going to do the invasion of the Iron Horde. So if you can imagine, our timelines here, they're going to split off, go down, and they're coming back into our timeline, which is exactly what Garrosh wanted to do. He went back, he changed the past, but it started that new timeline to build the Dark Portal again and bring him back into Azeroth. So this will be the Dark Iron Portal. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
So don't think Back to the Future where you could change the future.
Right, because it's an alternate reality. It's not altering a past reality.
Of Zelda.
I understand that.
Legend
I
of
understand
Zelda,
all
where
that.
there's a light and a dark world.
He cleared it up. I understand that. But what even if you are a green orc, couldn't you be from? Are you all from Thrall at that point? Are you all from?
No. Because Thrall came across. He was actually found, as a baby, but he was one of the last survivors of the Frostwolf clan, and they found him in the wilderness after his parents were slaughtered, and that's when the human, I believe, it was Blackmore, actually took him and raised him to be a gladiator in the arena. He was from the Frostwolf clan, but you do have other clans there as well. So all your other clans are still represented here. So if you're like say in an RP standard, setting, you could actually be from one of any of those one of those clans. Shattered Hand, the Frostwolves. You got, all those different ones that are out there. You can actually roleplay as that because all the orcs are not from the Frostwolf. They're not all from Thrall.
That's what I'm wondering. That's a big thing that I'm wondering about that. And then another thing.
Yeah. So
to go
guys,
off
we
that
got to wrap
subject,
this up. We are severely over time.
Are we? Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Hold a second. What's happened to the Dragon Maw clan?
Good question, actually.
No one's talking about those orcs.
Can I just say an attainable amount for this expansion should be a DeLorean?
That would be
That's actually
That's
pretty,
hilarious.
That's pretty
hilarious.
88 miles per hour! Done it!
To wrap it all up, the Dragon Maw are still active because you remember Warlord Zayla was with the Dragon Maw clan.
Oh yes,
And if you read War Crimes, she was very big part of the War Crimes novel, especially at the end when Gary escaped. If you don't know that Garrosh has escaped already, then shame on you because that's what we're moving into. But when Garrosh escaped, she provided the distraction for that to happen. So she's still active. Warlord Zayla, we all thought she died during the Siege of Mordor when she fell off. No. She survived, got rezzed up, and her clan is still very active. So be prepared to meet the Dragon Maw clan and Warlords as well.
That's one thing I was wondering if you could make a character, and maybe it won't change anything necessarily, but at least have like a tattoo on your arm is saying which tribe you come from.
Right.
You come from, or your leader is. Whether it's all those movies that we watched, all those orcs, you can have like their name on your, like that was your warlord or that was your ancestor's warlord.
That's pretty sweet. That would be awesome.
Does each clan have a sigil or a symbol or anything like that? Well, that should be tattooed with the name under it or something. That would be badass.
I'm sure there'll be some type of tabard representation. I would like to think.
You got passive ability, like maybe you can illusion yourself to have a fist that looks like a sword. Where
like the Shattered Hand.
Yeah, like that's the tribe you're from.
Let's switch gears and let's talk for a few minutes about our guest and run him through the gauntlet. So for those of you who missed the first half of the podcast, this is the man zombie. We just call him Zombie. He is from the Facebook page, No Stupidity for No.
That would be amazing.
No Sympathy for Stupidity. That's a real tongue twister. He also has his own stream on Hitbox, which I'll make sure that information is available in a link so that you guys can go to that. He sought us out because he wanted to be a part of a WoW podcast. He does have his own, but he wanted to be part of WoW. So tell us a little bit about what you do on the daily for your podcast and your page.
So for my page, really, I just started my page, No Sympathy for Stupidity, because I wanted to post things that I couldn't post on my personal page.
Isn't that the reason most of us do it?
Right? So I really, if you look at my page, the description is everything awesome, at least in my opinion. If I like it, I'm posting it. I'm sorry, I mean, I don't follow any rules. I don't have a theme. I mean, the only thing I have is that any of my followers I call zombies. I call all my fans, followers, likes, whatever you want to call them, I call them zombies. That's the only hard and fast rule really I have. I post about WoW. I post about other games. I post about fucking stupid people. I post about.
I called you the jack of all trades on Facebook because you're just a plethora of different genres and information on your page.
Thank you. Well, I didn't expect not that. Okay, I have 7,553 likes on my Facebook page, and yeah, that's a decent number. But I mean, I know pages where the 50K mark, at the 1.5 mil, mark.
Girls who play WoW's at almost about to hit 34K.
That's fucking insane. Now, I guess I don't.
Why? Girls
who
who play WoW have something you don't have.
Because we've got boobs, dude.
Yes.
We have boobs.
No, I have them too. They just don't begin with the word man.
We have boobs. We have beer. Boom.
I have boobs and beer, but they're not the kind of boobs you want. It's the kind of beer you want. It's just not the kind of boobs you want.
That's awesome. So your podcast, and you just decided, what's the basis of your podcast? Tell us what people can expect when they want to go and listen to your podcast.
Well, the podcast is with, I'm actually vice president of this website, geekyuniverse.com, which happens to be down at the moment, which is fucking lame. But it's geekyuniverse.com. We've got all types of game, movie, comic, reviews, opinions. There's a started web series that's called Nerd Tech. I recommend you watch. There's only 3 episodes, unfortunately. The cast kind of, a lot of them moved out. Some had babies. I mean, there's a whole bunch of shit. We would almost like to bring that back, but there's 3 really good episodes and 3 extras videos that I very, very much recommend watching. Nerd Tech, I guess long and short, is an IT version of The Office, and we're just fuck-ups. And, I mean, there's awkward situations and everything. But other than that, it's geekyuniverse.com, and we have a podcast. We basically just find the latest news and talk about it, whether it's movies or gaming or comics. Frank Duran, he runs a podcast. Real Books Don't Have Batman. Dude's awesome. Mike Tomaszewski, Multi-Monitor Mike, he's on there. He does Arcade Recall, which is retro arcade games and new arcade games. Just opinions and facts and whatever.
So you're anything nerd related, anything nerdy,
anything,
you've got it in the bag.
All of it, we got it.
I love that.
The podcast is every Tuesday night, somewhere between 9:30 and 10 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube, or I stream it on my hitbox.tv channel, where I stream all my video gameplay, which is lately LFR. And on Tuesday, I know it's patch. I know the patch is coming out on Tuesday, but I love my single-player games. I love playing games that are like playing movies, and I have pre-ordered and fully paid for The Evil Within. I'm going to play with the lights off, headphones on. I'm going to shit myself so many times. It's going to be great.
Can I just say
you're
that
crazy, man.
You were the first person out of a guest that, because you watch our show, you already knew every fucking question I was going to ask you and already literally, I was going to ask you what time's your podcast. Everything I had planned on asking, you already took care of in one fell swoop. I have no questions for the guest because you answered them.
I'm sorry. I love your podcast.
That's efficient. I love that.
I listen. You guys are on for 40 minutes roughly, and I listen. I'm 20 minutes on the way to and from work. So I get about one podcast of yours a day. Now I have to fucking wait a week in between podcasts.
Everybody keeps asking if we're going to do it live or if we're going to do mini podcasts in between. It's just something.
You guys don't do this on YouTube Live? We stream our podcast on YouTube Live.
I'm working on it.
Okay, because if you have Google Hangouts, this is how we do it on Geek
Let's
Universe.
talk about this after the show. We're over time.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's get the we're
Otherwise,
overtime.
World of Warcraft related, I main a Dry and Eye Protection Paladin. All I love to do is tank. I'm LFRing for secrets for my legendary
Love
cloak.
tank.
What's your server? What's your guild?
Oh, I am Proudmoore in Raid Naked Guild.
I bet you no! Proudmoore.
No!
Raid Naked Guild.
Everyone's got
I'm sorry, is that okay?
No,
I'm sorry, what happened? I don't understand the
We're on
reason.
Argent Dawn.
Listen, we're on Argent Dawn, but I've been trying to get somebody that's a higher up at Raid Naked to come on the show, and nobody ever responds to me, which is cool. I don't really give a fuck. But
I can talk to them if you want.
I've tried to contact Lyra. I've tried to contact a few people that I know are in charge of Raid Naked. Nobody ever responds to me, which
Really?
is okay.
You know what?
They're busy. It's okay. My feelings aren't hurt. At the end of the day, you either want to be on the podcast or you don't. It's not a big deal.
You know
but
what?
that's awesome.
Let me talk to
Raid
him.
Naked rocks, though.
Well, let me talk to him because even though that might be giving you a wrong impression,
It's all right.
hopefully not, but they are really cool people.
I'm not
I've mentioned
sensitive.
multiple
We're not-
times that I'm working on my legendary. I've LFR'd with these people and stuff. They're really cool.
Yeah,
So-
I love Raid Naked. I love the page. I love all of it.
And-
Liza, you have the gauntlet questions ready?
Oh, yes, Gauntlet!
Yeah. Okay, now
I don't listen to this podcast. I don't know what's coming up.
All right, so I had some hard ones.
I hope he's
I'm gonna
got
try
hard
to-
ones. He's
I've got a
pick
hard
them
one.
out.
Sorry.
I got some ones of last week. Hopefully, he doesn't remember what the answers
Okay,
were.
there's going to be 60 seconds. Thank you. If I forget to tell you, thank you for being on the show. It was a
Yes.
blast. But let's get the
Yeah,
gauntlet.
thank you for having me on the show. Because you guys have had, like, WoW experts and shit. People who are, like, in this fucking community, and I'm some douche, between casual, hardcore, asshole that's
Casual,
slowly working out as legendary.
Okay,
All right.
so let me know when we're ready. I'm going to start it. You have 60 seconds. Now.
Name the Shah in the Siege of Orgrimmar.
Shav Pride.
Name the Shah in the Terrors of the Endless Spring.
Shav Anger.
What race is all about the Amber energy?
Oh my god, I don't remember. We'll go with Blood Elf! I don't know, that was wrong!
What are the pandas? What is the panda tribe called that defends Pandaria?
Shadow Panda? Warriors or whatever? Guardians?
What are the names of the two shrines?
You were like Shrine of Seven Stars and Shrine of I don't fucking know.
Keep going.
Who
keep
is
going.
the first panda you meet in Miss Pandaria that tells you about your history and your ancestors?
Lore Walker Show?
Who is King Varian's son? What's his name?
Andrian Rin, whatever. Andwin! Why'd I put an R in there? Andwin Rin,
Where-
sorry.
Where is it where you meet the Calaxy?
It's one of the LFRs. I don't remember because I'm an asshole. Go on, pass.
Time's
Name the
up.
Shah.
We're
Oh,
over.
damn it.
We're actually, I gave you an extra 10 seconds, but we're
Oh,
over.
thank you.
You meet the Calaxy in Calaxy
Okay.
Vest.
There you get
Damn
the
it!
answers.
That makes
Hurry,
sense.
please, with the answers.
He got the Pride one right, Shah of Pride. Name the Shah that Terrors of the End of the
Shah of
Spring is Shah of Fear. He got that wrong. And then
He
Oh.
said Shah of Anger.
I saw Chef.
The answer
Oh,
is Shah of
damn
Anger.
it.
I said
Damn
what
it,
race is
I
all
knew
about
it.
the Amber energy? It's the Calaxy. And you got the Shadow Pen right.
I thought it
And
was a
it-
player
and-
race.
The Shah
You
of
did,
Anger.
and then where did you meet the Calaxy? I don't remember what he said. He didn't get Dread Waves.
He didn't say anything. It's,
I said I don't fucking
Calaxy.
remember.
And then
it's called
what,
Calaxy Vest in the Dread Waste, yes.
Yep. And then what are the names of the two shrines? It's 2 moons and 7 stars.
2 moons! Damn it!
And
then-
You fucking whore!
Please
That's
call
some
the-
hard
the
bullshit!
7 moons, and I'm like, it's 2.
He got
7
the most
moons
right
and
so
2
far.
stars?
He did
He
good
got
job.
Lowalker Cho, and then he get the King Varian's son's
He
name
did.
right.
It's Anduin, yeah.
Yeah.
Said
So he
An-
got
said
1,
Andrew.
2.
Now it's an
3.
Andrew win.
It's Andrew. He
got
the
4
most
out of
right.
6.
He got the most right. That was a
I
good
don't know.
job.
He got
Yeah,
the most
So
right
fun.
so far.
Okay, so
I answer along on the podcast too when I listen.
Thank you for being on our show. We appreciate it. It was a blast having you. Make sure you guys go to No Sympathy for Stupidity. Make sure you show him some love on his page. We will throw up the link to all of his information on our website, pomecast.net.
TV/TheManZombie.
I'm sorry, I like that one more.
What we're going to do is we'll put up all his information on the website. Make sure you go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/pomecast. Make sure you like us. We're learning. We're starting to get a little bit of a following. Also, before I do the ending, I want to let you know, Girls Who Play WoW is doing a Halloween costume contest. What this is interesting to all of my favorite people out there is the prize they are going to be giving away. They are going to be giving away a World of Warcraft book signed by Christy.
Wow.
So, and I can tell you that the reason being is because two of the admins that are a couple, they live right by her.
Christy, did you say?
Yes, correct.
Like the author
Golden,
for WoW?
Yes, listen, she has signed the book. So what you need to do is you need to go to Girls Who Play WoW on Facebook. They are doing a costume contest. So what you do is you send in a picture to the inbox of your creative costume. Doesn't have to be WoW related. It can be any other game related or whatever. Just we're looking for creativity here. Go there, submit it as an inbox. The one thing, you have to hold up a sign that says Girls Who Play WoW.
I'm gonna make a clip.
Listen. You have to make a sign.
Awesome.
You have to make a sign that says Girls Who Play WoW, and it has to be in the picture. Otherwise, it's not going to be an entry. But guys, this is a book signed by her. Literally, she is going to be signing it. She lives right by two of our admins from Girls Who Play WoW.
That's fucked up.
So
that's awesome.
So I just want to shout that out. But I do want to thank everybody for joining us as usual. You are the reason we do this. Keep up downloading on the iTunes. Keep subbing us on iTunes. We are in for a really wild ride here with WOD, and it can only get better from here. Thank you, Zombie, for being on the show. We appreciate your support, and we do thank everybody out there. We are glad that you guys joined us this week. Now, so all of you know at the end of the show, I always give our advice on how you can game better.
Right.
So make sure this week you want to make sure you focus and attack Garrosh when the weapon is up instead of killing the weapon. That's very, very important. Make sure you never focus the weapon. Make sure you act like an asshat in raid chat.
Weapon.
Make sure you act like an asshat in raid chat. That's very important to have the full gaming experience. And finally, always, always give advice for your class give advice for a class that you've never played just because you want to know everything. So that's it. Thank you guys for joining us. If nobody has anything else, we are out of here to go do some poning around Azeroth. Thank you for joining us.
If you want to share with the other guys, Belle, if you want to share with the other guys, I sent you a cosplay picture, but it has nothing to do with WoW, but it's a cosplay picture.
So thank you guys for
share
joining us.
Share it with everybody else.
We'll be back next week. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you for having me, you guys.
Thank you.